Hi, I'm Alice from Tap with Alice, and in this video, I'd like to suggest some phrases that you can use for tapping about your inner critic. So if you haven't come across EFT tapping before, Emotional Freedom Technique, I suggest you watch one of my other videos, which explains how it works, what it is, and where the tapping points are. Otherwise, if you're good to go, you can tap along with me. So when we're thinking about the inner critic, I can't tell you how many of my clients and also myself, we all have some variation of a belief, I'm not good enough. So it could be I'm not clever enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'll never be good enough, I try my best and my best is never good enough, all that kind of thing. And we can be very unkind to ourselves inside, and our inner critic talks to us in a voice that's very cruel and hurtful. And I'm sure that you would never ever talk to your best friend or your lover or your children in the way that you talk to yourself inside your head sometimes. And we all do it. I do it as well. Um, so I'm not talking about not trying hard and not doing your best and just being sloppy and like, oh, well, I can't be bothered to try. No, I'm talking about doing your best and being contented that that is enough. And it's much easier to say that than to do, isn't it? I mean, look, I do all these videos on YouTube. That's not easy for me to do. I don't like the way I look in them. I don't like my voice. I think my voice sounds stupid. And I don't even watch them back most of the time, because I know that when I watch them back, I think, oh, I didn't say quite the right thing there. I didn't do that very well. Oh, I look a bit weird there. Oh, I've got a pimple. Something is going to be wrong when I look back on those videos. So it's more about, okay, I've done my best. I've made the video. I'm looking okay. If it was my friend, would I be happy with that? And I'd say, yeah, great job. If it was my friend making these videos, I would be really proud of them. So that's the place I'm coming from. It's being kind to yourself as you would to a loved one, and accepting that we're all human, we're all imperfect. And if you try your best, then that is good enough. And how do we get that into our subconscious? So we can try to do that with tapping. And again, I'll suggest some phrases. This kind of generic tapping can take you a little way. It can be helpful. There may be some phrases here that are useful for you. But with this kind of a topic, it can be based on quite deep-rooted inner childhood experiences. And I would suggest that if you're not getting anywhere with this, that you work with an EFT therapist like myself to really find the root causes of your beliefs of not being good enough and always having to try harder and that never being good enough. So before we begin, I'd like you to think of something specific, because the phrases that I'm going to be using are quite generic, and it's always better in EFT tapping to use specific examples. Otherwise, your brain goes into overdrive and you'll find every single example in your memory of not being good enough. So, for example, it could be something like I've just mentioned, being in videos on YouTube, or it could be looking in the mirror and thinking that I look fat in a particular dress, or it could be going for interviews and never getting the job because I feel like I'm not qualified. I feel like they think I'm not good enough. So some specific situation, and please have that in your mind. If you don't have a specific situation, you can get yourself in a muddle and not feel good at all. If that does happen, always just drop the words and keep tapping. So when you found your specific situation, just check in. How intensely are you feeling? I'm not good enough in this situation, from 0 to 10. So 10 would be, I'm really not good enough, I'm terrible. And 0 would be, I'm great. So for me, thinking about the videos, I'm pretty good. I've done a lot of work, a lot of tapping on myself for the videos. So my feeling of not being good enough is maybe around a 3 by this stage. Okay, so when you're ready, I'll lead you through the tapping and you can say the words after me out loud. Anything doesn't resonate with you, just change it to words that fit your specific situation, whatever it is. Even though I always do it wrong. And I hate the way I look. Deep, deep down, I am okay. Even though I should have done it better. and it wasn't good enough. I accept that that's how it was. And even though I don't get it right, and I should have done it better, and I never get it right, and I always do it wrong, right here and right now, I'm okay. And let's come around the tapping points, the eyebrows. I always do it wrong. The side of the eye. I'm not good enough. Under the eye. I'm never good enough. Under the nose. My best is never good enough. Under the mouth. I don't like the way I look. Collarbone. I'm not pretty enough. Under the arm. I'm not slim enough. The head. I'm not young enough. Eyebrows. I'm not clever enough. Side of the eyes. So when I try my best, under the eyes, it's never good enough. To the nose. I should have done it better. I should have said it differently. I should have tried harder. I didn't do it properly. And it wasn't good enough. And breathe in. Breathe out. I'll just offer a few reframes that might be helpful. Even though I feel I'm not good enough, what if I really am? Even though I feel I haven't done it properly, what if it was okay? And even though I hate the way I look, I'm sending myself some love anyway. What if I'm okay as I am? I choose to remember that nobody is perfect. I embrace my human imperfections. What if I could accept myself as I am right now? And I'm sending myself some love. I choose to treat myself kindly. I choose to give myself a break. What if my best really is good enough? I choose to treat myself kindly. I choose to speak to myself kindly, as I would with a dear friend. I choose to see my good points. And I choose to embrace my human imperfections. What if I'm okay as I am? What if I could accept myself as I am right now? What if my best really is good enough? Breathe in. Breathe out. I'm just thinking about that specific situation that you tuned into at the beginning. How do you feel about saying I'm not good enough in that situation? So for me, the videos. I'm feeling mine's gone down from a 3 to a 1. It's absolutely fine. So as I say, I have done quite a lot of work on that. You may have started out with a much higher number. And normally there are deep-rooted beliefs and childhood events beneath these beliefs that we live our lives by now. So do get in touch if you'd like to work further on this. And thanks so much for watching. You can find me on my website, tapwithalice.com, and on Facebook, Tap with Alice. Bye.